Okay, good morning. Thank you for the invitation and to have the chance to speak here. As Suat said, we're starting from the north, so this means that the Balkan Trail is leading to Austria, and as we all know, we are not a part of the Balkans anymore. Even people say that the Balkans starts in Vienna, but and that's so. I would like to give you a big picture of the situation in Austria because of the fact that our situation is different maybe to other countries, because we are one of the so-called target countries of this massive refugee flow. And I think it's good to have this picture and you see the context we have to work in. What you can see here is the number of asylum application from 2006 to 2016. You see, 2015 we had 88,340 applications to handle, and 2015, 2016, half of it, 42,000. And what you can see also, and this is the impact of the closing of the Balkan Trail. It's decreasing and decreasing, and the first 2 months of 2017, we just had 4,000. Compared to the years before. Wait. What maybe if you can read it. It was a kind of double, so means that this closing of the Balkan Trail has really a huge impact on the situation in Austria. What might be also interesting is to see this table here. So what you can see here is a statistic who shows how many recognized refugees we have in this procedure. So this is the numbers for 2016. So we had 2016 42,073 asylum applications. Asylum decisions are a bit high because they counted a part of the asylum applications from the year before were tackled as well in this year. So all in all, we had nearly 60,000 of 50,000 of 57,000 decisions were done in Austria, and the positive decisions were 27,700, negative 20,213. So this is the situation we are dealing with, and just wanted to give you this picture. And this means that immediately when this massive flow happened, and a lot of people passed through Austria, we had also to start with the integration work. And this is what I wanted to flag out a bit. Integration in Austria means that we have a long experience. We have in Austria we have this labor migrants integration since years. So Austria asked people to come and work in Austria. The first years, the government didn't do anything because they thought they will go back, but then it turned out that the labor migrants will stay. So after a very long time, they started to react after kind of really pushing from NGOs. But meanwhile, there have been built structures which are working quite well. Well means here and there difficulties, of course, but the structures are working. And this is maybe a different situation to the countries along the Balkan route, because the integration structures the way in Austria have been built out might be, this work might be done in the countries along the Balkan Trail. In Austria, we have this kind of integration commitments, which the migrants and now the recognized refugees have to do. So they have to learn a certain level of German language within 2 years. Now the Austrian government is discussing an integration contract. On one hand, the government is promoting the integration issue. Of course, language learning is one main issue. It's new now for the refugees after this discussion of radicalism. There's a lot of discussion about how to teach the newcomers values. It's a crazy discussion we have in Austria. Values for typical Austrian. You might agree with me. Can you think about values about a typical Serbian or typical Macedonian? It's real difficult. So this is this discussion we have, and of course there are obligations to integration from the migrants or refugee side. So these structures mean that the departments or responsible person in the government. We have an integration minister. We have a department in every regional government on political level and on administration level, and the administration departments have really good cooperation with NGOs working in the regions. So this is really, let's say, a structure which. So we had a lot of time to work out this structure to make it powerful, and it's working. Yeah, this is the situation we are facing in Austria. So now about this question about this initial response of the civil society. I think it was the same as in all the other countries. After this massive flow, I have to. Yeah. There have been first aid support on borders. We had this massive support on train stations, organized by NGOs who have resources and organizational competences. Mainly, on one hand, it was Caritas, Diakonie, Volkshilfe, Doctors Without Borders, but on the other hand, there have been new initiatives popping up. Yeah, for example, one initiative is called Train of Hope. They have been working in all the train stations in Austria, but mainly for people who pass through. But as I said, at the same time, a lot of people applied for asylum, so the integration work had to start immediately, and this was there was another group of volunteers and initiatives who have been let's say experienced a bit in the work in the integration work, and also they started immediately to work with the migrants. So we had city hotspots. We had reception centers where these people have been working, and after I think it was the same chaotic situation as in all the other countries, a bit more structured. It took a bit time till we have got a kind of real structure which was working. There was a question of cooperation between NGOs and between governmental administrations. But as I said, because of the fact that we have kind of lessons learned in the last years, and we had these good cooperation structures between NGOs and local authorities, that things were going quite well. Uh, I want to stress out a bit the situation now and the way volunteers and civil society is supporting or working in the field of integration. In Austria, nearly all. So we don't have reception centers. We have one big one. This is near Vienna, but kind of 1,000 people are there at the moment. We have 2 or 3 reception centers in the regions with less people. So nearly all of the people have shelters all over Austria. Some of them are in apartments or houses from villages, municipality or city municipalities. Some of them are private, and this is really, let's say, the working field of a lot of volunteers in Austria. They give support, clothes, legal advice. We have individual support. We have kind of got parenthood. I don't know if this expression is known. So people say, okay, you will be my individual parenthood. So they care in a specific way for 1 or 2 refugees. So all this is happening now, and it's a bit the difference between when people are staying in cities or when people are staying in rural areas. So the access to health care and to educational institutions in cities is easier for refugees as in the rural areas. But meanwhile, I think it's an obligation that all the recognized refugees, of course, but all the asylum seekers have the right to access to participate in a term course. Yeah, so this is quite working. For a very long time, people especially in these rural areas had not the chance to learn German. So, for example, I live during the weekends in a small village near the Hungarian border. So since 2015, every Sunday I had German classes for the people who have, for refugees in this area. And a lot of people are doing this kind of work because there's a lack of support from the government. Still a bit, especially in these rural areas, but it becomes more and more better. One or 2 words to this regional component. Yeah, I think this regional cooperation is not so easy. There was a lot of cooperation at the beginning when there was a massive flow. Regional means across the border. For example, we have this one organization called Border Crossing Spielfeld. Spielfeld is the city, the border crossing to Slovenia. They popped up at the time where there was a specific need. They learned each other to know via internet. Then they came together. So it was step by step work done. They established collection places to collect things were needed, and now they kind of information hub for people in Austria who want to learn to know more about the situation in Slovenia or Croatia, things like that. The regional cooperation or cooperation with other NGOs, it's not really working in a way. They're here and there, so it's not structured, it's not organized. Beside the fact that a lot of NGOs are part of this European Council for Refugees, they meet 3 or 4 times a year, but there's no active cooperation going on, in my point of view. And this is something which is really a lack. So if we talk about solidarity, this would need more more active cooperation thing on regional basis.